From Washington, D.C., this is Omar Nashashibi, finally able to bring you the results of the Biden administration's long-awaited review of the Section 301 tariffs on Chinese imports, first imposed by former President Trump starting in 2018. Required by law after 4 years, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative on May 14th released the review of China's acts, policies, and practices related to technology transfer, intellectual property, and innovation. Along with the report's release, USTR announced that it will increase the tariff rate on select imports from China over the next 2 years. Starting in 2024, the rate increases to 25% for non-lithium-ion battery parts, lithium-ion electric vehicle batteries, select critical minerals, ship-to-shore cranes, the classification of other critical minerals under their HTS codes, face masks, and steel and aluminum products. Also in 2024, the tariff rate is quadrupled to 100% for electric vehicles from China and to 50% for solar cells and syringes and needles. In 2025, the tariff on semiconductors from China under the Section 301 tariff action increased to 50%. The products seeing an increase to 25% in 2026 include lithium-ion non-electrical vehicle batteries, natural graphite, permanent magnets, and medical gloves. The rate increases to different levels on some products, as the products appear differently on List 1, 2, 3, or 4, which are currently subject to the 25% tariff, or on List 4A, which is covered with a 7.5% tariff rate. The action taken by USTR does not eliminate nor reduce any tariffs on imports from China. USTR did, however, announce that they would restart the Section 301 tariff exclusion process on a limited basis. Upon imposing the tariffs on China in 2018, former President Trump established a process allowing importers to apply for an exclusion from having to pay the tariffs on imports. Only 429 exclusions remain out of thousands granted in the past, and those expire on May 31st. President Biden did not allow for further exclusion requests when he took office, leaving the process closed for several years until now. On May 14th, USTR released a list of 312 imports from China eligible for an exclusion, all appearing under Chapter 84 of the Harmonized Tariff Schedule, covering nuclear reactors, boilers, machinery, and mechanical appliances, or Chapter 85, electrical machinery and equipment, and parts appearing under both those chapters. The machinery in domestic manufacturing that are eligible for an exclusion do, though, appear in Appendix K of the report. In a further guidance, USTR will provide more details on the process for requesting an exclusion and which steps a requester must take. Sources indicate that, as in the past, the exclusions will be temporary in nature and will undergo a review by the agency and possibly the public prior to approval by USTR. In addition to restarting a tariff exclusion process, USTR is also planning temporary exclusions on 19 imports of certain solar and manufacturing equipment from China that appear on Appendix L. The review did include 3 recommendations, aside from establishing a new exclusion process targeting machinery used in domestic manufacturing and the 19 solar machinery exclusions. Those recommendations include, quote, allocating additional funds to United States Customs and Border Protection for greater enforcement of Section 301 actions, greater corroboration and cooperation between private companies and government authorities to combat state-owned technology theft, and to continuing to assess approaches to support diversification of supply chains to enhance our own supply chain resilience, end quote. The report concluded that while the Section 301 actions, quote, have been effective in encouraging the People's Republic of China to take steps towards eliminating some of its technology transfer-related acts, however, the very next bullet does say that China has not eliminated many of its technology transfer-related actions, which will continue to impose a burden or restriction on U.S. commerce. Conclusion of the report, after 2 years, is an important step for the Biden administration as former President Trump on the campaign trail discusses imposing tariffs of 100% on vehicles and even 10% on imports from allies. The actions by USTR on May 14th start to provide both importers and manufacturers of products competing with China more certainty and clarity on the Biden administration's tariff and policy towards Beijing. For those importing from or competing with Chinese manufacturing imports, it is important for you to reach out to CLA to identify whether any of the recent actions impact your operations, whether to identify products eligible for an exclusion, or to better understand the implications of the tariff increases. This is a significant step and marks the first time we have seen this type of change to the Section 301 tariff action since 2019. Please be sure to reach out to CLA to learn more, and we will keep you updated as USTR releases more details on the exclusion process in the coming weeks.